Jamie, how's your Thursday shaping up?
Hey, Scott. Thank you. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hey, Jamie. How are you?
Andy, greetings. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Yes, yes. Happy Thursday. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your day. This is the Trading Studio. My name is Andy, and that's Jamie and Scott. Let's dive in. Before we do, let's go over the disclaimer real quick. We're content publishers here at Trade Ideas. Okay. Jamie and I will be talking about some stocks that we may have traded today, stocks that we're in, stocks that we're looking at possibly to trade, but do not mistake that as being investment advice. That's not what we're here for, and we can't do that legally anyway. So if you are looking for that type of information or advice, look for a stockbroker or a registered advisor. Hey, Mike C., how are you, buddy? All right, it's going to be a fun little webinar today, and this is my 6th week. Let's see, done 3 webinars on the relative strength in the China stocks, and I'm going to talk about it again today. And I also built some alerts that I'm going to share with you guys. 3 alerts that I'm going to share with you guys to help you, maybe trade some of these. Anyway, I'll talk about that when we get into that segment. But it's going to be, I think, some valuable content for you guys, especially for some of the newer people that are just kind of seeing a bear market for the first time, which I imagine is most of you, because we've pretty much been in a bull market for the last 13 years, but things have changed over the last 6 months. So we'll talk about that. So let's go over our 5-star support, education, and training. We realize that it's a very powerful software. It gets more powerful every day, it seems, with the addition of stock races and all of our features that we continue to add to this software. But it's also can be as basic as you want, because we have lots of pre-configured windows in there for you. Quick, easy access to. And also we have a variety of webinars that you can see over there on the left side, 2 a week. We have also the trading room, as you guys can see. Barry Anderson, I'm sure most of you guys are in there if you're in here, but it's a great place. You do not have to be a subscriber. It's a free room for everybody. And if you want to access that, we'll just hit us up and we'll give you the information, the link to get in that free trading room. And then our support webinar that we have every day at 12 Eastern time. I'll be doing the one for tomorrow. It's just a daily live support. We still Barry's live stream for about an hour. You can see it there at the bottom. Just trade-ideas.com/live and you get you there. Or if you're in the room on the live stream, just hang out. We'll steal it for an hour and we'll open up that session. Great session. We'll talk about the software if you need help with that, or all of us here are very seasoned professional traders, so we can talk stocks and all sorts of fun stuff. All right, we'll leave this for Scott on the way out. Let me back out of here and let's pull up the market and talk about the overall market and what it's doing, which is pretty much the same thing it's been doing all year. Okay, we are in a downtrend. We are below all of our key moving averages right now. We tried to pop. I thought maybe end of month. Typically end of month you get what's called window dressing. Brokers or funds, major funds, trying to support their stocks, push them to highs, so it'll have a little bit better of a closing price on that end of quarter. But boy, you could not get anything going today. Finished down on the day, even though we finished well off lows. A perfect spinning top there, heading into a Friday below all our key moving averages. Let's take a look. When things get like this and you do not see a lot of support when you're looking to the left, let's always go to a longer time frame. Let's go to a weekly here and let's dive in and see what happened. Steve and I were talking about this 200-day moving average. Really looks like this is on the weekly, of course, and it's around 350, which marries up. If I draw a orange line here for you, marries up pretty much right at this key pivot level. So I'm sure a lot of eyes are on that and thinking, oh boy, that's a foregone conclusion. We are going to get there. And when you get that kind of attitude, a lot of times it'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you have all the traders basically waiting for a level, buyers don't want to go in, and sellers getting frustrated will possibly just push that down to that level. Let's take a look at the Qs on the weekly. Same kind of picture there. Now we are more weakness in the Qs because this would marry up over here. If I put this orange line right there, that would kind of marry up to where the SPYs are. We're below that now in the Qs. Okay, so we come down here to the 200-day moving average. You do have, remember this is a weekly chart, so just seeing a few lines of congestion would be many lines on a daily. So this is a pivot level as well for the Qs on the weekly chart there. IWM is weakness. I mean, you have a level here though, guys, that it's going to be, you would think we're through this, but at this level right here was kind of a, you can see if I can zoom back even further. Yeah, this is a big pivot level. If the IWM gets down to that 160 level, you can see major support, even though we did have some little areas where we had head fakes before it finally took off. So that will be at level IWM at 160. But Jamie, you know, if you've been bullish on this market and you're continuing to be bullish, I need to show you some other stuff to trade, because, and that's what a large part of this webinar is going to be about, is even though the SPYs, look at this, I have found great opportunity in the FXI, K-Web. You can see that total different charts. And this is a weekly too. If I put it on the daily, you can really see it. Yeah, K-Web up above all of its key moving averages, except still below the 200, but still above the 10, 20, and just a total different look there, guys. And that's what you call relative strength. And I'm going to have so much more to say about this going forward. But Jamie, that's about it. Anything you want to add to the overall market recap there?
No, I mean, you pretty much summed it up just right. And yeah, the Chinese equities are definitely bucking the trend.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. There was a couple of stocks of interest in the Holly today.
Yeah, I got a couple to point out. It'll be brief, but
Okay, no problem.
Grab it here and we'll go over those real quick. Okay, so you should have eyes on my desktop now.
I do.
Pretty short and sweet with Holly today. Here we can see in all the risk modes, and then she kind of fluxed around too. If we look at the equity curve down here, just floundering around, was down most of the day. One little pop to break even here and then down, and then towards the end of the market, boom, we got a nice little uptrend there in the equity curve, all because basically of one trade, and that was a short that you see here in the CYTK. That was a nice, I mean, that's a really clean entry there. Nice entry. Stock just does what a good stock should do. Immediately just starts stair stepping down. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A good hour and a half of down movement, getting all the way into the close. Now she did close it out a little early here. You can see closed it out at 15 minutes before because of this timed exit here. So believe it or not, wow, what is this? A little bit of spread between conservative and moderate here. Not a lot, but some nonetheless. So basically, the difference that you see right here just came in this last 15-minute candle there. So what do we got there? About 64 bucks and spread there. But hey, even if you exited with conservative, knocking out a little over 3.5 points on 100 shares, not a bad trade at all. The next two are just kind of non-events. The Merck short, pretty much acted the opposite way of the CYTK.
Yeah.
As soon as we put that short on, boom, throws a little elbow, but still, a long way to go to that stop area up here. Eats up about maybe, I don't know, 35% of it, and then finally turns and motors back down. So reduced risk is where she plugged out for $35 loser, and actually more spread in this one than there was in this one here, about 80 bucks or so. But just holding that one into the close, not quite half a point on a 100 share lot. Nothing to write home about there. And rock, just a nice and easy loser. On the long, of course, no big surprise there. Now there was a trade around opportunity in the OILD. Here's the entry candle, boom, about, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, about an hour, gets stopped out, but look at that wick just right above the stop area. So if you did happen to have eyes on this one, once that wick was put in, this new candle starts, well, you know, kind of would have been, I don't know, once you see this and you see that move occur, but theoretically, could have put that short on here, 662, all the way down to 640, a whopping 22 cents. So not a huge amount of profit potential in there, but still kind of a nice trade around area because it just wicked through the stop area. You know, we much prefer them to kind of hang around up there for a little bit, maybe peck at it a little bit, get a much better price, but this one just was quick. If you didn't get it quick, you know, you're taking the next candle here, and that was only 20 cents. So trade around technically, just not that much to offer. That's pretty much it for Holly today. I was pleased just to see her up a bit, but
Yep.
like they say, it all comes down to one trade a lot of the times, and this is a classic example.
Yeah, that was a beauty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about
All right,
it, sir.
Jamie. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a tough market for any strategy, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes. But I will say this, guys. And like I said, I started these webinars. We do it every 2 weeks, and this is the third week in a row. So that'd be 6 weeks. I've been talking about the China stocks, and it's really all I've been playing lately. And I've had a very, very nice run, even though the market has just been, the overall U.S. indices have just been horrendous. There's definitely been some good opportunity in the China stocks, but there's a way to play it. And I'm going to share some windows today with the kind of stuff I look at, and when I'm looking at these China stocks, I don't want to chase. Anytime you're in a bear market, even though their market looks a lot better, we're still in an overall, bearish market. Okay, and when it gets like that, there's no reason, to not get your price. Okay, be patient. It's going to come to you. And I actually built some windows today that's going to help you be patient and let the prices come to you. There's no hurry to be rushing, be chasing stuff in this environment. I do want to pull up. This is a 6-month comparison of the ETF Spider versus the FXI. Okay, the FXI will be the blue line. Okay, and the black line is the SPY. Well, you can see there going back to about March, early March. The spiders had a little rise there. China had a little rise with it, actually kind of almost caught up with the spies, and then finally, spies kept going down, and then pop, boom, crossover, and now you have the FXI outperforming the SPY. This is a 6-month. We could go back and look at it on 2 years if we wanted to, and get a little bit different picture of what you're looking at, both starting out at zero. Obviously, the SPY has outperformed, but what you're seeing here, guys, and you can go back in time, and when you see this decline that the SPYs have had over the last 6 months, and what you see here is the FXI over the last, 6 weeks, 2 months has not been going down. It's actually been going up as the SPYs continue to get clobbered. So just an interesting overall perspective. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'll be playing it as long as it does. Now, once again, I'm not rushing out and buying highs in this market. I'm looking for pullbacks. A great example was the other day when DQ, I bought on this pullback to the 20, probably one of my best trades of the year. It's hard to do sometimes. You don't go in here full size. You can always buy half, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. And then when you get the reversal the next day, boom, you buy another half, and then you get some nice alpha after that.
Yeah, that was a
FX.
really nice move in that one, Andy.
Yeah,
By
it
the
sure
way,
was.
the chart comparison functionality that you were looking at there
Uh-huh.
before,
You share it?
just FYI, that's coming to TI pretty soon.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. We're always innovating here at Trade Ideas, that's for sure. Uh, all right, LI, another one. I'm upset. I had two opportunities yesterday and today to get back in this. I was hoping for a pull down. You know, it's had a nice run. I'm looking for a move down to this 20 period moving average is what I'd like to see. Once again, I do not want to chase in this market, but I did have this thing right around this 29.45 level and had one another really good trade on that one right there. So there's a lot of, I mean, I bought some stuff today, you know, this QFIN, you know, I bought it right around this 17.15, I believe, on this pullback here today. Love the way that's setting up. You can find these guys if you have I know Mike C has it, the symbol list that I shared, and let me know if you need it because I can. Well, you're gonna have to email me because it's a long one and it doesn't all fit into our questions panel there. So, but anyway, I actually shared and gosh, you're gonna have to have the symbol list obviously to enjoy these. But what I've done here, I built 3 alert windows. These are alerts, so you'll be alerted in real time when it happens. And I'm looking for, well, once again, there's no reason to be chasing in this market. Okay, you can be patient. These prices will come back to you. So use Trade Ideas. No other software out there can do what Trade Ideas can do in real time. They can give you this opportunity in real time, showing these alerts hitting lows in the perfect situation, you know, in the perfect area that you're wanting, around the moving average, you know, around you could build one for around resistance and things like that. It's a little more difficult, but I just like to use simple, you know, simple moving averages. You know, let me know when a China stock, which is strong, is coming back and hitting its 10 period moving average, is hitting its 20 period moving averages. So for example, let's take a look at the configuration of this one I built. China, pull back to the 10 SMA. Very simple configuration. Just needs to be, that's just a hack to show that it has earnings. Price needs to be above $5. Volume today needs to be 200,000 shares. And this is how you bracket the 10 period moving average, so you'll know that it's coming down and tagging it. Let's take a look at the action today. And if we just put on today, we can see that JD came down and hit it. Now it did go a little bit lower, hit it early in the morning, went down a little bit lower, finally got a nice little bounce there. I was in this and got out of my last sold. I'm always selling half two in this market pretty quick. Anyway, I think I got out of my last one this day right here. But looking at it again, I'll put an alert right around there. But versus tomorrow, may buy it back. BKE, look at that. Boom. 10 early this morning, waffled around. Nice move. You don't have to chase. XPEV. Actually, you could have got this a lot lower too. Went down, shook some trees, bounced. Maybe one to watch tomorrow. Q2, one that I was in, made a good trade, but I'm out now. Same thing, hit the 10 period moving average and bounced. And let's face it, it wasn't that huge of a bounce in the overall market. Okay, it was, you know, market still finished down on the day. Baidu, great little level right there, boom, and bounced for you. So this is a way, guys, that you can, you know, if you want to get in, you want to participate in some of this China moves, you know, once again, you don't need to chase. Strangely enough, for some reason, I did not get anything. Let me make sure I got this configured correctly. Change from 20-day SMA. Yeah. For some reason, yeah, I thought I would have gotten something in that today. So let me see, go back to yesterday and see if anything came through. Nope. Nope. Billy did. Billy came through yesterday, went a little bit lower. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. They kind of break down a, you know, like a 10-day or even a 20-day range, but not crazy about that pattern. One that I really love. Okay, we do have alerts for when stocks are crossing over the 50-day moving average and also the 200-day moving average. Okay, so you look here at my alerts. I got them in both directions. Okay, I want to see them when they're crossing down, and I want to see them when they're crossing up. Now, the chart has to look really, really pretty for me to buy them when they're crossing above. In other words, I don't want it to be a chase. So if it's extended and they're crossing above, I'm probably not going to participate in those. But if they're kind of chopping around sideways and going back and forth around that area and consolidating, that's a different picture. We'll take a look and see if any of that's happening. But we had quite a few today. HTNT, there's one, that's one of kind of what I'm talking about. This is kind of, you know, even though it's very sloppy and some big, it's still consolidating right at that 200-day moving average. Maybe one to watch. LU, that one's a tricky one. That pays a huge dividend. I think it's a financial company over there, and you know, I think it's about a 5% dividend. This is wrong here. It's not a 21%, but it's up there pretty high. But so anyway, when you got those dividend paying companies, they seem to trade a little bit different. They got to factor in the dividend and everything. BKE was a nice one there. Okay, it crossed to the downside, and then it looks like it would have came through when it crossed back to the upside. And did we get that one on the 10 as well? Yeah, we got that one on the 10 moving average. CSIQ was a beauty this morning. Team just tagged it, gapped up, tagged it, and then went. PDD, you're seeing the same. This is just crossed. Now wait, why did that one not come through my? Oh, I bet this morning that's what it was. It hadn't traded. It probably hadn't traded when it tagged it this morning, 200,000 shares. May have to make some changes. Yeah, on this one, I don't know if I need to use a, anyway, I'll worry about that later. API, cross below. That one's not a very good looking chart though. It's just kind of in the middle of its range. VNet was a good one. Crossed its 50 on the open and boom, boom, popped right up. This is what I'm talking about, guys, when I'm saying you don't have to chase. There's Baidu. We saw that one on the 10. You know, it did cross below its 200 as well, because that 200 was right at its 20. So signaling you everywhere on that Baidu. VNet, another good one. I think you guys are getting the picture. They were coming through left and right on these things. YUMC, yeah, that one I would rather catch on a pullback. It's hard. Sometimes, you know, it's hard not to chase, but I just remind myself, hey, you know, we're in a very bearish tape right now. Don't be the guy, you know, buying highs after a, you know, 4 or 5 day run. Although this is kind of starting to consolidate a little bit. All right, let's see here. We see if there's anything else I wanted to add to the overall. Oh yeah, half size, great. I'm glad I looked at that. So when you're buying these today, or anytime you're buying them in this market, until it changes, I don't see any reason to be diving in with full size when you're buying these things on pullbacks. You can always add to your position. Gosh, there's one I wanted to talk about today that I don't see it in here, because I bought VIPs. I bought VIPs on the 200 day today. Came down there and tagged it. Now I was in it earlier, got stopped out, and then lo and behold, it hit the 200 day. I bought it back today. So that's one that I'm currently in. Nice tail. I'd like to see it build on that. But once again, half size. There's no reason to go in when you're buying these things, because remember, it's a contrarian move. They're in a downtrend, at least for the intraday. Okay, they're selling off, they're hitting a new low, they're, you know, triggering at your moving average. So just be sure, you know, unless you have just tons of conviction, and I don't in this market, that, you know, when you enter these, maybe even enter a third of a size, a half of a size. There's no reason to dive into these things. The thing about it is, in these China stocks, you can get some pretty good moves in a couple of days. I'm not saying you have to play such small size that you have to invest and wait for a 2-week move before you make any money. But because you can really easy on these China stocks get 20% moves in a matter of days on these things. So that being said, it does come with a warning label, okay, and you got to be careful because these are China stocks, and occasionally you'll get one that has been cooking the books, and you wake up one morning and the bottom is falling out. The problem is I can't I can't veer away from a whole market just because once or twice a year you may have one bad apple. You find some of these stocks that have been on there for 10 years, more than likely you're safe there. I mean, Vips, the one I bought today, they got in trouble a while back, but they've been, I think they corrected things. They've been trading for a long time, and I'm really willing to take my chance. Now, that being said, I don't trade huge size. I would rather spread my, risk out over several stocks. Lately I've been in like 10 to 12 of these a day, so I don't need to load up on one stock, huge and look and be on the edge of my seat waiting for that huge move. No, I know that if I'm buying these things correctly, I don't have to buy it, huge size, and I can still get a nice, 2-day move, 2 or 3-day move out of them, sell half and see if the other half works. Well, let me go ahead and share these. Now, once again, guys, if you put them on real time, so I'll be sharing them in real time. Now, once again, if you do not have this symbol list, email me at trade ideas at I'm drawing a blank, info@tradeideas.com.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Because this list is too big to put into this questions panel. All right, or the chat panel. All right, let me share these. Okay. This is pull back to the 20. And I'm just going to be dropping them into the chat panel there. 20 China. And this is going to be 10. Pull back to 10. China. And crossing the 50 and 200 day. This is a nice one. Crossing 50 and 200. China. Okay, so I want to add a little bit to this topic, guys, because I hear from traders out there, and everybody talks how tough it is. And once, like I said earlier, a lot of this times it can be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It can be a prophecy, that's for sure. But guys, you can't be doing the same thing over and over, okay? Like, I'm looking at a lot of, and I'm actually in one of these. I bought one of Barry's today. I hardly ever do this, but I did buy a fib at 106 today. I'm still in. I just like the way this possible horseshoe is setting up. But you get a lot of these, guys, when you're used to playing these. This one had a little bit of run and finally pulled back. Rev, big wick. I'm seeing this over and over in a lot of these momentum stocks. Just, boy, if you're not out early, you are holding the bag on these things. So I know how difficult it is out there when the tape is like this. Sellers are looking to sell. They're not looking to ride the momentum out for a long period of time like they were the last 13 years. So it can be very difficult. You have to adapt and change. And I'm not bragging, but I've had one of my best 1-month runs, this year. Just playing the China stocks. Going to where the money is. Even if you want to day trade, okay, you don't have to hold these. There's still a lot of opportunity out there. Just look at JKS today. I'm so mad I missed that one. It just took off on me too early. But JKS, beautiful run. You know, DQ. I mean, there's the runs are out there if you day trade. Just make sure you're trading the right stuff. Right now, money is flowing into China. Okay, it's flowing out of our markets. It's flowing into China markets. Okay, that's going to make the moves last a little bit longer, right? That's where the money's going. How long it lasts, I don't know, but if you learn to adapt and change, play smaller size, buy strong stocks on pullback. Right now, the strong stocks are the China stocks. That may, like I said, it could change tomorrow, but as long as it's keep going, and you may ask, well, Andy, when does it end? You know, well, the key moving average, the break was this 50. This is what I mentioned back in my first webinar about 3 weeks ago when I mentioned the China stocks, when you had that gap up out of that 50 after hitting it for several months, it seems like. Yeah, it was. And ever since then, it's been a nice little trend. Now, this hasn't been an incredible move. I imagine a lot of people probably think, boy, when U.S. markets get going again, these could sell off. Well, I beg to differ. These could be that much more stronger. We could have that much more strength. So the first thing I'm going to do, if I see the SPYs take off, I'm going to see how the China starts reacting, because I have a feeling that they may rip twice as much as this, S&P stock. So time will tell, but that's the first thing I'm going to anticipate. I'm not going to load the boat, but I will definitely have an eye on them. I'll probably already be in them, but look at that today. I mean, today, action for the day. So this is KWeb, okay? And I can pull them all up. I can pull up FXI, and you're going to see the same kind of picture there. I can pull up EWH, which is the Hang Seng Index kind of fun. Look at these closes, okay? While the SPYs were heading down in the last, well, that's kind of, let me take off the market, post-market. Yeah, when you had this big deep swoop in the about an hour before the close, and the SPYs, those weren't coming in. All my stocks were holding up just fine. So that's what I like to see. That's the relative strength I want to be playing. Is there a way to overload my own filter set on top of the Market Explorer strategy? No, unfortunately not. You can't do that here. Yeah, it's looking at all, if you're looking for something custom, I don't know, you may send an email in. I'll see if there's something we could do, but it's proprietary. It's not like we hand this, the Market Explorer, out to be used. But maybe that's something that we'll add in the feature, to the ability to configure where you can add your own symbol list. But right now, I think you're kind of limited to what you can do. Let's see, go into Market Explorer real quick and see what you can do. Can you do anything? There's no configuration at all, is there, Jamie? I don't guess there is.
Not really.
No.
I mean, I remember it's reminding me of the red bar ignore, green bar ignore. There was very minimal configuration, but
I thought there may be minimal here, but there's not even that. Okay. Yeah. For right now, Kier, I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. Maybe that's something we can add in the future. But all right. So good topic for today. Once again, guys, if you need that symbol list, I'll type the email into the chat there. Just send it to info@trade-ideas.com, and I'll get you that symbol list if anybody needs it. All right, guys, that's all I had today, and all right, man, good. You got your China pep talk, Mike. See, that's I hate to see people. I mean, a lot of oil stocks had a little bit of a pop, but it looks like every time they're starting to sell, then those things go up too. So they're selling a lot of the oil stocks. So TAN was having a pretty good day today, but most of that was in the China stocks, DQ and JKS. But although I did see, let's see, for solar had to close. Yeah, I had a nice little run into it, but it's still below, it's the 50 there. So I'd like to know when that thing pops up above this level. Maybe one to watch. I can see question panel, but not chat panel. Yeah, okay. Well, if you go, you'll have to go to your enter. You may have accidentally exited out. I don't know. It's in there. I think everybody else sees it. I'm starting to lose my voice. My family's had COVID and I hadn't felt too well today. So, yeah, it's in your go-to webinar interface. Mine is under the polls. You have attendees poll. Well, you won't have attendees, but polls. I don't know if you'll have polls either. It's in that dashboard though, right under dashboard maybe.
Yeah, mine's
Okay.
popped out, so I don't know what it's
Yeah.
normally under.
Yeah. Kim, just send an email in, and I'll be sure to get you those. If you want to send it to that email, info@trade-ideas.com, I'll make sure I'll get that to you. And let me know if you need the symbol list too in there as well. Okay. Kier says, look at the little red arrow to expand the chat panel. So if you see a little, that may be, there's a little red arrow at the top that will open it up. So good advice. You got to expand it if it's closed. But it looks like if you were able to get to the questions panel and pop that out, you would probably know how to do that. So I'm not sure why you don't have it. I guess there's a chance you may have closed it accidentally when you were opening the questions panel.
Well, Andy, I know what new race I'm going to add for tomorrow and the next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What may that be? China?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been doing it?
I have one on my default layout now. Yeah. Every morning I have the China watcher. This is one I shared already, which just a sweet little top list here. And what I do is I run a race every morning with 10 cars in it, so I can see them. JKS took out of the chutes pretty hard today, and here's my problem is when they take off hard like that, because I come in usually with, like I said, 10, maybe 10, 12 positions. So
Yeah.
the first 15 minutes I'm babysitting my positions, but so I need to pay attention to that more in the first 10 minutes.
And of course, it's always like, when you get those runners in the morning, whether you just entered the position or whether you've been in it, you're like, okay, odds are it's not just going to stair step up all day.
Mm-hmm.
A couple will do that on occasion, but there's lots of opportunity for pullbacks.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Just like look after the market had been open over 30 minutes, this JKS took a swoop down all the way to this 5-day moving average. So Jamie's right. Don't chase. You don't feel like you have to chase. Just put it in alert. A lot of times what I do is stick a bid in there. It's what I did on QFIN today. Let's take a look at some of these charts and for the last maybe 4 minutes, and then we'll walk out. The CD, this is one I missed. I wanted to get to. It's a beautiful, beautiful chart right there. And these things may have some room to go because they really haven't even gotten going yet. Nice little 3 days of pullback and then a nice bar reversal there. Of course, DQ's been a monster. This one that I'll probably wait on forever to pull back to the 20 and it never will. I tell you this. This only did 15,000 shares today, but I saw this early this morning coming through. Oh, it came through my race. I'm like, okay. And look at it, it's a fertilizer, China Green Agriculture. It has all the right names in it, but gosh, it doesn't do any volume, and it's pretty beaten up. CTO, look at that beauty right there. Pulled back to those 50 and the 20, and look at that move today.
Yeah, that's the one that just kept on going.
Yeah. Some of them will do that. yeah, you're not going to miss these in the races. So yeah, my problem is trying to focus on everything that I'm in, and then Sohu was one that was in that I got out. Keep an eye on. Let's see. This one really hasn't moved at all. This WB. I don't know these gamers, man. I just don't know if there's any they can make any money or what. But hasn't really done anything. They got tons of cash. Make money. I don't know. But if it gets going, it only it can wait for volume, but it's just nothing going on there. Noah, I
Hey,
was in
Andy,
that.
did you see Ken's question up there in the panel?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, good question, actually.
Let's see. What is what is your thought process with the winner of the race? For example, biggest gainers race. When not to chase and when. Yeah, that is a very good question, and a lot depend on the on how you feel. Now, what I will do a lot of times is take the CTO, for example. Okay, I would love to catch these right at the bar reversals. For this, for example, I'd love to catch around 26, 22, 25-ish, which would have been around right there, is where I'd like to have seen it. Let's say I don't see it till it gets up here to this day right here. Well, now I'm concerned about this, coming and running into this resistance and pulling back, because a lot of times they will. But what I'll do a lot of times, if I want to be in, but I don't like chasing, 5 green bars in a row, especially in a bear market, what I'll do is the same concept. I'll either buy like a third or a half, with the intentions of, if it pulls back maybe to the moving average or something like that, or pulls back like JKS is hard, I can enter a second half. This had good relative volume today, so I would have. Now if I see this and I look up here and it's only doing one relative volume or a little less, I'm probably going to try to wait for a pullback. But this had, nice 3 times normal volume today. This is one where if I didn't catch it and it came across my biggest winners, I'll jump in, but just by half. So maybe I'll buy 100 shares, and if it pulls back, I'll buy another 100. With the intent of hanging on for a while. So if you're day trading, it's a different story. Then you're looking at buying 1,000, buying another 1,000. But a great question, and a lot of time, that just comes with experience. But the way this market's been opening up, a lot of times you get these downdrafts. You can take advantage of those, just like I showed you today on a lot of these alerts. That just the opening 15, 30 minutes, they'll get jammed down, and hey, that's where, if you're like a swing trader or even like a long-term day trader, you're looking for an all-day move, man, go in and take advantage of that and pick you up some. And it's okay to wait. I mean, very seldom they'll come down and just hit it real quick and then shoot right back up. Now you can't do much about that, but a lot of times you can wait. Let's take a look at the Baidu, for example, today. See, it went off, but it did give you some time to to kind of focus. Not a huge move in Baidu, but still, if you picked it off down here at 147, let's pull back a little bit there. It's close. This one actually could go, have a nice move on tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm talked out. I am going to call it a day. And once again, if you did not get these alerts or you need the symbol list, just email us. I'm going to bring Scott in. He's going to walk us out, and you guys hang on. I think he has a nice little code for you. All right, Scotty. Is he on mute? Let me check. Yeah, it looks like you're on mute, Scott. Or maybe he stepped away.
Yeah, I couldn't find the mute button.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Hello. Yeah, so do check out Interactive Brokerage if you would like to connect Brokerage Plus and trade directly from Trade Ideas. It is not commission free, but they have one of the most reliable platforms out there. So check them out at trade-ideas.com/IDKR. And if you are looking for commission free, We also have connection with, well, I think the next slide is actually strategy indicators. So go ahead and grab that. It's a great ebook. TradeIdeas.com/strategy connects you with an ebook that has some great advice from our director of software development. Our Strength Alerts platform, Strength Alerts newsletter gives you 5 fresh ideas every Sunday. Go to trade-ideas.com/strength and check that out. And if you have a desire to upgrade or start out a new subscription with us, use the code FASTDATA. Saves you 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas. And if you have any questions, email us info@trade-ideas.com. You can find Steve Gomez, TISTG. We also have Trade Ideas and Montbot on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook, Trade Ideas Pro, and YouTube handle is Trade Ideas. The recording of this session will be up later on tonight or tomorrow, so stay tuned for an update about that. And y'all have a good rest of your day. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Scott. Thanks, everybody. I'll see some of you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Hey. Oh, yeah, let me put it on my headset. Hey, man. I guess, should I close this out, this meeting? Or yeah. It won't ruin if I close it, right? End webinar for all. Okay. I just want to make sure he gets the recording.